Now, I have spent considerable time observing the peculiar ways in which humans go about making their mistakes, and I must say, there's a certain art to it. The clever folks who study such things have identified what they call the dirty dozen, a collection of human shortcomings so reliable in their ability to cause trouble that you could set your grandfather's pocket watch by them. Let us examine these troublemakers, one by one. On the matter of communication, or rather the lack thereof, I have noticed that humans possess an extraordinary talent for assuming others can read their minds, which, I regret to inform you, remains an unproven capability. This failure to share vital information is like trying to build a steamboat with half the blueprint hidden in your aunt's attic. The fix: institute what the learned folk call closed-loop communication. When someone tells you something important, repeat it back to them like a well-trained parrot, but with understanding. And for heaven's sake, write things down. Memory is a fickle friend that often takes unannounced vacations. Concerning complacency, or the devil's hammock, there's nothing more dangerous than a person who's done something successfully 1,000 times, for they're likely to be doing it wrong the 1,001st time while daydreaming about their dinner. Complacency is like a comfortable rocking chair, pleasant enough, but you won't get anywhere in it. The fix: treat every task like you're doing it for the first time, with a healthy dose of respectful caution. Create checklists, even for things you could do in your sleep, especially for those things, in fact. On the distressing matter of knowledge deficiency, I have observed that ignorance comes in two flavors: the honest admission of not knowing, which is curable, and the firm conviction that one knows everything, which is terminal. The first step to knowledge is admitting you don't have it, much like the first step to getting out of a hole is admitting you're in one. The fix: maintain a humble and curious disposition. Seek training regularly, read voraciously, and never assume your education is complete. The cemetery of progress is filled with the graves of those who thought they knew enough. Regarding distraction, or the mind's wanderlust, in my observations, the human mind is like a butterfly in a garden full of flowers. It can't help but flit from bloom to bloom. This tendency becomes particularly troublesome when one is operating heavy machinery or performing brain surgery. The fix: create a sterile environment for your attention. Turn off those infernal devices, establish a sterile cockpit rule during critical phases, and for heaven's sake, stop trying to compose poetry while landing an airplane. On the absence of teamwork, I have noticed that humans, while supposedly social creatures, often behave like cats in a sack when required to work together, each pulling in their own direction, accomplishing nothing but a general increase in noise and chaos. The fix: establish clear roles, practice together regularly, and remember that the glory of success is better shared than hoarded. Create an environment where asking for help is considered a sign of intelligence rather than weakness. Concerning fatigue, nature's unwelcome house guest. A tired human is about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. I have observed that people will deny being tired even as they're nodding off, displaying the same good judgment as a rooster claiming the sun rises because he crows. The fix: rest is not a luxury. It's as essential as the rails on a railroad track. Establish proper sleep patterns, take breaks, and learn to recognize fatigue in yourself and others. And for goodness sake, stop wearing exhaustion as a badge of honor. On the scarcity of resources, having the right tools and sufficient time is like having enough wood for a raft. You don't appreciate their importance until you're halfway across the river and coming up short. The fix: plan ahead, maintain proper inventory, and never start a job without ensuring you have what you need. It's better to delay a task than to attempt it with inadequate resources, much like it's better to postpone a journey than to set sail in a leaky boat. Regarding pressure, or the weight of expectations. Pressure can make diamonds, but it can also burst pipes. I've observed that humans under pressure tend to make decisions with all the wisdom of a turkey voting for Thanksgiving. The fix: develop strategies for managing pressure before you need them. Learn to say no when safety requires it. And remember that temporary inconvenience is preferable to permanent catastrophe. On the shortage of assertiveness, I have noticed that many folks would rather walk 10 miles in tight shoes than speak up about a problem. This reluctance to assert oneself is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. The fix: practice speaking up in low-stakes situations. Remember that assertiveness is not aggression. It's the art of standing up for safety without stepping on toes. Concerning stress, the mind's termites. Stress gnaws at judgment like termites at a wooden leg, quietly and continuously until the structure fails at the most inconvenient moment. The fix: develop healthy coping mechanisms, exercise, meditation, or whatever suits your constitution. The key is to handle stress before it handles you. On awareness, or rather the lack thereof. Some folks go through life like they're wearing blinders in a hall of mirrors, seeing lots of themselves but missing everything important around them. The fix: practice active observation. Develop the habit of regular situation assessments. Keep your head on a swivel, as they say, and remember that awareness is like an umbrella, most useful when deployed before you need it. Regarding norms, or the comfortable path to disaster, bad habits, when shared by enough people, become normal, much like a group of lemmings might consider cliff diving a sensible afternoon activity. The fix: question established practices regularly. Just because we've always done it this way doesn't mean it's the right way. Traditions should be respected, but not at the expense of safety and common sense. In conclusion, dear friends, these 12 troublemakers are like a family of mischievous siblings. They rarely work alone and often invite each other to the party. The key to managing them is eternal vigilance, regular training, and a healthy dose of humility. Remember, in the grand theater of human error, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and a good system is worth a ton of both. And that's the truth, or I'm no observer of human nature. If you'd like to join our merry band of error-aware humans, subscribe and share your stories below. After all, the only mistake worse than making one is missing the chance to learn from someone else's.